Hi guys, Carol here. Today we're going to work on just the Poof method. So I'm going to show you on a 14-inch frame the Poof method, and then later on we'll go into layering the Poof method. So I'm going to switch cameras and we're going to get started. Here I have a 14-inch Dollar Tree frame. I have several pipe cleaners already attached. I have made a tutorial on how I attach my pipe cleaners. I'll leave the link below so you can see. This one here is one that I have attached 6 in the center at each crossbar, and they're whole pipe cleaners. I'm just going to push them to the middle, and then on the outer in between the 2 full pipe cleaners I've attached 1 full pipe cleaners going all the way around for a total of 6. Then on the same bar that I attached the whole pipe cleaners, I have attached a half pipe cleaner. What this allows me to do is to put mesh in this half pipe cleaner, but no ribbons. And again, I will leave the link below to where you can go and watch how I make a 14-inch Dollar Tree wire wreath into a working wreath form using this exact method. Okay, so today we're going to be doing the Poof, and the Poof method is usually with a 21-inch mesh. However, you can do it with a 10-inch mesh. You're just not going to get as full of coverage, so you might want to think about your second layer as you're going forward with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open every outer pipe cleaner, the half ones and the whole ones, on this 14-inch frame. This allows me the ease of going ahead and not having to stop to open them to find my pipe cleaner. And efficiency, if you'd like. Okay, so I have those open. I'm going to scoot it over here to the side, and here on my mesh roller I have 21-inch deco mesh. Okay, and it's black, and that's why I use the black pipe cleaners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thumbs and I'm just going to push up about an inch, inch and a half, and then I'm going to continue to ruffle it using my fingers to pull all the way across. When I get to the edge, I'm going to make sure that that inch, inch and a half goes down just like the one that we started with. I'm going to take it in my left hand and I'm just sort of going to hold it. I'm going to go in front of one of these open pipe cleaners. You can choose whichever one you would like to go in front of. If I'm using this method of the way I place my pipe cleaners, I like to go in front of a whole pipe cleaner. So what I'm going to do is just lay my mesh in the center of it. Just in the center through it. I'm going to take a zip tie. The size, it doesn't matter, that's preference. I think this one is a 6-inch one. I'm going to go here on this third bar because you've got 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go here on my third bar and I'm going to place the pipe cleaner in between it. Right in front of this tie. I'm going to take my mesh, I'm going to lay it across that pipe cleaner that's opened, and I'm going to place my mesh inside the pipe cleaner, and I'm going to tighten it down. This allows it from coming loose. If need be, because this is a smaller one, I take my needle nose pliers and I just pull it tight. Then what I want to do is I'm going to snip it off. I have a bucket handy for all of my debris that I come up against. I'm going to cut this end off, make it very pretty. Make sure I don't have my bars in my center. Okay. And I'll push the frays that come loose over to the side. So I'm going to pull it right snug up against this open pipe cleaner. But I'm not going to twist it. I'm not going to tie it. I'm just going to leave it open. This will be our starting point for our next, when we go to the top to put our poofs in. And you'll see what I mean here in just a minute. I have a mat. I'm going to place my mat on the 10-inch mark. And we're going to do what's called 10-inch poofs. You can do them depending on your preference. Some people like to do a 12-inch, some 8, depending on the project size you're working with. So I take my left hand around my thumb and my pointer finger, keeping my mesh on the sides pointed down, and I measure out 10 inches. I take that 10 inches and I scrunch it up, but I'm not going in this tie. I'm going into the next tie. I lay my mesh in the center of it, and I bring my tie up and I push it down real snug. Just a second, I've got the wrong one. There we go. Hence the black pipe cleaners can be confusing. So this is a half pipe cleaner. I'm going to pull it really snug, and I'm going to twist it 3 or 4 good times, because I'm not going to put anything else in this tie. I'm going to trim it off a little bit, and I'm going to just twist it underneath. Okay? I'm going to take my mesh and I'm just going to pull it out, making that gorgeous poof. Okay? I'm going to repeat the process. I've got it on the 10, keeping my sides under. I'm going to pull it out till I've got 10 inches. I push it back up. I place it in the center of my tie, and I pull it together and pull it really taut. I twist it a couple of anywhere from 1.5 to 2, 3 inches. 3 twists, I'm sorry. Because this mesh is really stiff mesh, and stiff mesh has a tendency to be harder to hold into your tie. As you progress into making wreaths, you'll find out that some meshes are stiffer than others. Deco mesh is a lot stiffer than, say, a fabric mesh. Here we go again from the 10 to the 20 for a 10-inch poof. Put it in the middle of that tie. I'm back to a half tie. What this does is it gives me excellent coverage, and I still want to see some mesh. So I'm going to twist this a few times and cut it off. I still want to see the mesh by not placing ribbons in each one of these. I'll be coming over the top of this with a different colored mesh layer later, and that's what you call layering your mesh for your base. This is just a simple base with the Poof method. So we're going to continue. Bring it up. Push it down very good. Pull your pipe cleaner really taut and twist it a few good times. This mesh is very stiff. Trying to work out my poof there. Sometimes you sort of have to stop, straighten out this mesh to keep it going so you'll have nice, even and poofs. This is one of the easier techniques to starting out when you make in making wreaths. I'm clipping this off, pulling our poof out. Come out to the 20. The Poof method is great for, like I said, for a base for any type of a wreath. You don't necessarily have to put another mesh with it, and that all goes to preference. You may want to just use ribbon in it. Or say some deco tubing. It depends on what your concept of your design is and what you want your design to look like. With working with a dark colored mesh such as black, and I've coordinated my pipe cleaners to it in order to keep them to where you can find them. I like to sort of pull them together, and these outside ones that I'm not cutting off because these are whole pipe cleaners, I like to put them to where I can see them when I go back later, because they sure will hide on you. This makes a really pretty poof going around with having this many pipe cleaners on the outer portion. If you did not have a mat to measure it on, you could also have a piece of cardboard that you've cut to 10 inches or 8 inches. You could have a ruler that you could get, say, maybe at the Dollar Tree, a plastic one. Get several of them, cut them down to, say, 8, 10 inches. And you could measure it that way. When you're first starting out crafting, it gets very expensive. But I will tell you, and I will do a short video one day listing all the supplies that can help you, and later on the other things that you want to buy that would be up to you. But starting out, the most basic things is going to be a mat. You can get them in different sizes and different colors. You can get them at Walmart, Amazon. You can buy them at a lot of different other craft stores. I started out with a small mat. The next thing would be a pair of wire cutters. They don't have to necessarily be as large as mine. They've got them at all your Home Depot stores, anywhere. They do not have to be this large. Okay, now that we've made it around to where we started, here is where we started and we tied our mesh off to. We're going to gather our mesh and we're going to make another poof, another 10-inch poof. Okay, and this time what we're going to do is this tie that we bypassed the first time, we're going to place our mesh down in it. And we're going to twist it really taut and poof it out. Okay, making sure I've got all of my ties sort of pointed out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start on the inside of our frame. What I like to do is I like to find my ties for the inside, especially since it's the same color as our mesh, to go ahead and open them up. It makes it a little easier. I've been known to take the wrong tie and tie it to the wrong tie. Okay. So now to get from the outside to the inside, we're just going to pull our mesh in our hand in between our thumb and our pointer finger, like so. And what I'm going to do is where this is, I'm going to pull it over until I can see this inner pipe cleaner, and I'm going to pull it over right in front of it. I'm not going to pull hard. I'm just going to pull it barely taut, and then I'm going to take another pipe cleaner and I'm going to secure it to the second ring that goes around your frame, right in front of that pipe cleaner, just like we did in front of the one on the outer going around. What this does, it keeps from creating a poof right there in between going over, because you would basically have to go over it, and that would make that one higher than the other. This is my personal preference. I've seen other people do it several different ways. Now that I've got that, I'm going to clip it. Mesh sticks to everything. It's sticking to my clothes today. We're going to pull that ruffle out again because I smashed it. We're going to do it the same way we did before. This one right here, I am not going to go in. I'm going to leave it open because when we come back around and finish, I will have a poof to go inside that, just like on the outer. So I'm going to take my, on the 10, leaving the mesh turned under, I'm going to pull out to the 20, and I'm going to bypass that tie, and I'm going to go into the next one. I'm going to place and push it down real snug, pull these pipe cleaners up, and tighten it down very taut, and twist it a good 2 to 3 times. Then I'm going to take this poof, and all I'm going to do is poof it out just like I did on the outer. Okay? We're going to, so I can see my pipe cleaners, I'm going to pull them up and continue to go around on the inside with 10-inch poofs. Put it down real snug, right inside that pipe cleaner, and pull it taut. And then pull out your poof. There we go. See how pretty that's looking? This is getting thicker. We're going to keep going. Some people prefer to go to the inside and then go to the outside. That's totally preference. As you're beginning to make wreaths, you might want to try it both ways. The concept is the same, and tying your mesh off is the same, and going from the top to the bottom would be the same as going from the bottom to the top. My pipe cleaner hid from me. This is a more affordable way when you start out making wreaths, is to make your own wreath form by using excuse me, a Dollar Tree wreath frame. Like I said, I'll list the video in the description below. And then this is a basic with a basic mesh that I'm using for my base, which is more affordable than some of your metallics, highly fold metallics, but it gives a good base. That way, if you wanted, when you come back with the layering effect of a different type or a different color of mesh with a 10-inch, maybe you could spend a little more. It doesn't still have to be really expensive, but get some with a metallic or a wider fold metallic in it. Okay, so we're back where we begun. I'm going to spread that apart so you can see it. And here is the pipe cleaner that we went around, okay, and tied our mesh in front of. So this time I'm going right into that pipe cleaner and I'm going to tie the mesh down. It's going to be a little bit thicker because we have, so I'm going to tie it really good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and poof our last little poof out. And even though this is basic black mesh, it turned out really nice. So now that we've come to the end of it, what I'm going to do is you can pull it over in between your two poofs, come around to the back side here, and you could tie it off with another pipe cleaner. Another zip tie. But I'm going to show you one more step because you still have some of this 21-inch mesh left. And this would be to make your base a little fuller if you did not want to use a second mesh and just wanted to use one solid color. Okay, so instead of tying it off, what I would do, let me get this here, is I would bring it around to the outside, and I'm just going to leave a small poof when I did it. I'm going to sort of cross over to one of these. All right? So I'm going from the inside now to the outside. And I'm keeping it about the same as a 10-inch. I'm going to open this outside tie, and I'm going to place our mesh down in it. I'm going to push it down really taut because it's getting thick inside that tie. Okay, and then I'm going to spread this poof out. So we're just making a third poof, and this is a little bit more advanced. So since we went from the inside to the outside, I'm going to pull it, going to make about a 10-inch, and I'm going to go back to the inside. This is going to give you even more coverage. Especially, like I said, if you just want to use one color of mesh that's more affordable, especially when you start out making wreaths or you're practicing and so forth. I'm just going to pull this out the best I can. Okay. Find my tie. From the inside to the outside. Push it down really taut. Let me see what I've got. It just didn't feel right, but it was. And then poof it out some more. Some people prefer to go back around and make their poofs. I like to do mine as I go. There again, that's totally preference to what you get used to when you start making your wreaths. There that little sucker is. And like I said, deco mesh will ruin your clothes. It sticks to them and it pulls little threads everywhere. And it's not biased on what type of fabric it is. Okay, push it down in there real taut. We're nearly all the way around again. In my next video, I will show you how to take this Poof method and add ruffles to it to make even a bigger, fluffier wreath. I will be making several of these videos. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing, giving me a thumbs up, I sure would appreciate it. That helps me bring more videos to you. If you would like to leave comments, please do. I answer all of my comments. It might take me at least 24 hours to do so, but I do answer them. If you have any questions, please comment in the box. If there's something that you would like to see, if you're a beginner and would like to see something that you've seen someone do, I won't replicate a wreath they've made or anything of that nature. But if I can help you with your skill level to learn how to do it, I'm more than welcome to do that for you. I also download videos of wreaths or swags or centerpieces I've made to my channel. So make sure you subscribe so you'll be notified each time there has been a update on my channel, and you might be able to learn that way also. So this series, I was asked by several of my subscribers and on Facebook to do tutorials for beginners with the Poof Method, with the Busy Bee Crisscross Method, with the Poof Method, with Woodland Ruffle Method. So that's some of the videos that you can look forward coming soon. I hope to try to get at least one tutorial out there per week, if not two. And I hope you enjoy watching them. We're still pulling it around. So right now, we're nearly all the way back around, crisscrossing it over. And once we get there, I will show you how to tie it off. So basically, we learned the Poof method of just the basic poof going around. And then what this is called, the Poof crisscross. When I started crisscrossing the leftover 21-inch deco mesh, it went from the Poof to a Poof crisscross method. Okay, so now let me look here and see where we are. One more. Straighten our poof out. So if you've noticed, it's gotten thicker all the way around and has hidden our frame in the process. And that's exactly what we wanted. So that's where we begun. So let me do one over to it, and we'll be through. pull this last one really taut. And I will be also doing more videos on the Poof Method, showing you other ways that you can do coverage, some that I have just learned recently. So now that we're at the very end of where we started, when we started going around and crisscrossing, I'm going to pull out a few inches, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it off. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring it to the inside like I showed you before, as if we hadn't have gone around and did the crisscross with it. So I'm going to pull it to the inside. I'm going to take another pipe cleaner, okay, and I'm going to tie it to the inside ring. Like so. I'm going to pull it really snug. I'm going to cut this off, but then I'm going to take that pipe cleaner and I'm going to turn it to the inside, because we don't want anyone's door to get scratched if we send this wreath out. And then I'm going to cut the excess off. And now we have a nice, neat back, and we have a very nice looking and sturdy base wreath. Or, like I said, this is excellent coverage so that you would not have to use a second mesh if you did not want to. This would be excellent just with maybe a sign, a bow, some ribbons. This would be gorgeous. So I've enjoyed this video today, and like I said earlier, please subscribe and like my channel. It helps it grow. It helps me bring more videos to you. And comment and let me know what you would like to see next. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and take this one base that we have, and we're going to put some color to it by using a second mesh. Thank you and have a blessed afternoon.